Now introducing Lithuania and Romania boot.
Lithuania is a country with very deep traditions. Because of flat land, the Lithuanians were growing fields of linen. It's a main fiber that allowed Lithuanians to make clothes, bedding sheets, tablecloths, and towels. Towels were very different from the rest of the world, carefully designed, one more beautiful than another, long and pure linen. Because Lithuanians in their heart are very sensitive and lyric people, some patriotic poems appeared on their towels. Kur bėga šešupė, kur Nemunas teka, ten mūsų tėvynė, graži Lietuva. There were river Šešupės running, where Nemunas is floating, there's our homeland, beautiful Lithuania. Lithuanian weavers weaved what they saw in the sky, the sun and the stars, and flowers that bloomed in their gardens, a special place in Lithuanian folk songs and in weaving designs, Fekruta, the Lithuanian national flower. It is also in the tablecloth, usually used for weddings. There is no Lithuanian wedding without šakotis, a branch cake. There is no Lithuanian girl who wouldn't have amber, which we named Lithuanian gold. Lithuanian sashes are one of the oldest textiles. They are used instead of belts. Men till now are wearing hand-weaved neckties. Colors of Lithuanian traditional clothing or household items were natural, gray or brown. If linen fabric was kept on the grass with morning dew, it became white. They were using natural colors, mostly of plants. The same colors were used to color Easter eggs. Red beets, chamomile, red cabbage, colors subtle and not too bright. Come to explore Lithuania with me.
Lietuva, Lithuania. Lithuania is such a beautiful country that even Italian composer Ponchielli wrote an opera, I Lituani, in the 19th century. Yesterday, June 24th, was a very important celebration for Lithuanians, the Dew Festival, renamed Švento Jono Diena by Christians. It's a celebration of the longest day and shortest night, of light, of all possible and impossible miracles, like finding a bloom of fern, making wreaths, and much more. Greetings to all Ione, Latvianianis, Hanses, Johans, Ivans, and Johns. Please listen to the traditional Dew celebration, Lithuanian polyphonic folk song. Lithuanian language is very old. It is related to Sanskrit, Latin, and ancient Greek. Lithuanian is the most archaic surviving Indo-European language. There are no swear words in the Lithuanian language. If a Lithuanian wants to say something profane, you will hear Lietuva bala blazdon, eik šunių šokuot, kad tave zuikiai subadytų, rūpūs miltai, kad tave bala rūpužė. Lithuania has two main dialects, but linguists consider there to be many more of them. By the end of the 14th century, Lithuania was one of the largest countries in Europe and included present-day Belarus, Ukraine, and parts of Poland and Russia. Lithuanian Barbora Radvilaitė was the most beautiful European lady in the 16th century. She was wife of Lithuania-Poland king, also Lithuanian Žygimantas Augustas. Book smugglers, the profession that only Lithuanians had. Knygnešys smuggled Lithuanian books and newspapers across the border during the 40-year-long Russian ban on Lithuanian publication. Lithuanians are among the tallest people of the world. Basketball is like a second religion in Lithuania. Most people have never heard of the cold beetroot soup or cepelinai, but for Lithuanians, these are the most delicious dishes in the world. Lithuania is famous for being the only country in the world with its own official scent called the scent of Lithuania, Stelmužės ąžuolas. Oak measures 3.5 meters in diameter. It is believed to be at least 1,500 years old, possibly as much as 2,000 years old. It's the oldest oak in Lithuania and one of the oldest in Europe. Lithuanians strongly believe that babies are delivered to them by storks, Lithuania's national bird. Lithuanians build structures for birds on the roofs of their homes to ensure storks will make their nests there. If they do, it's good news. More babies will come for both storks and people. Lithuanians celebrate not only summer but also winter solstices. For Easter, they paint their eggs with meaningful ornaments. On Pentecost, they dress up their cows, and on All Souls' Night, they all go to the cemetery. Every 4 years, Lithuanians from all world gather in Lithuania to participate in the Song and Dance Festival. Lithuanians even celebrate mushrooms. The world's highest quality amber comes from the Baltic Sea. Lithuanians are so proud of amber that they call it Lithuanian gold and even name their children after it. Gintaras for boys and Gintare for girls. Lithuanian narrow Curonian spit of land is home to the tallest migrating dunes in Europe. One of Lithuania's most awe-inspiring sights is the legendary Hill of Crosses. Today, there are around 200,000 of them. The internet in Lithuania is cheap, reliable, fast, and accessible all over the country, and locals are proud of the fact that such a small country manages to be an incredibly efficient provider when it comes to the web. Lithuanian-made laser system, one of the most powerful laser systems in the world, began work at Hungary's Laser Research Center in 2019. Lithuania has more than 50% of the world's laser market. Pope John Paul II's mother was Lithuanian. Professional Hollywood actress Rita Lee still speaks Southern Lithuanian dialect. American actors Sean Penn and Charles Bronson have Lithuanian blood. Anthony Hopkins, known as Hannibal Lecter from the movie The Silence of the Lambs, was born in Lithuania. Bob Dylan, John C. Reilly have Lithuanian blood. Robert Zemeckis, pure Lithuanian-American movie producer, USA Senator Dick Durbin, Jonas Mekas, the godfather of American avant-garde cinema, born in Lithuania, Pink, football player James Laurinaitis, Anthony Kiedis, Red Hot Chili Peppers, leader, singer Brand Flowers, all carry Lithuanian blood. Birutė Galdikas, anthropologist, primatologist, conservationist, ethologist, and author. Jurgis Kairys, the winner of many awards from the European Championships to the World Grand Prix of Aerobatics. Zydrunas Savickis, the strongest man in the planet. He holds 20 different world records, 8-time winner of Arnold's Strongest Man Prize. Former mayor of Bogota, Colombia, Antanas Mockus, known for his integrity, and many, many more. Ačiū kad žiūrėjote. Thank you for watching.
I'm Lithuanian, but I will present another country that is in the south of Europe, Romania. Here are 10 facts about the country. The name Romania comes from the Latin word Romanus, which means citizen of the Roman Empire. The Parliament Palace in Romania's capital of Bucharest is the second largest and the heaviest building in the world. Bucharest is also called Little Paris. The city's Arc de Triomphe was constructed in 1935 to be modeled after the Arc de Triomphe in Paris. The first ever Perfect 10 awarded in the Olympic Games went to Romanian gymnast Nadia Comaneci for her performance on the uneven bars in Montreal, Canada in 1976. Francesco Illy, the founder of Illy Cafe, was born in Romania in 1892. He also invented the first automatic steam espresso coffee machine. Palace Castle in Sinaia was the first European castle entirely lit by electrical current. The electricity was produced by the castle's own plant, and its central heating system, built in 1888, is still functional and in use today. In 1889, the city of Timisoara became the first in Europe to have electric street lighting. The tallest wooden church in the world is found in northwestern Romania. The 257-foot-tall church is topped by a 23-foot cross that weighs 1,000 pounds. The Romanian language is 1,700 years old. Romania is home to 4 Nobel Peace Prize laureates: George Emil Palat, Medicine; Elie Wiesel, Peace; Herta Müller, Literature; and Stefan Health, Chemistry. Thank you.
It's time to visit Latin America.
Bienvenidos, welcome. This is our Latin American booth. My name is Angela Chavez.
And I'm Paula Castan.
We are both from Colombia, and we really want to take you to a journey to Latin America. It is going to be very difficult in such a short period of time to show you everything you want to showcase about our Latin American culture. We would like to highlight some of the general of our country and our culture.
Yeah, and it's not just challenging because of the time, but we are talking here about more than 20 countries, more than 14 independent territories that stretch all the way from Mexico down to Tierra del Fuego in Argentina. Also, much of the Caribbean islands are part of Latin America. And we are all called Latin America because of the languages spoken, all come from the Latin language roots. So most Latin American countries have Spanish as the official language. However, we have Brazil, where the official language is Portuguese, and many other islands where French is their native language. All of those languages come from the Latin root. The other thing that is interesting about Latin America is the diversity in ethnic groups and diverse ancestries. We have an influx of everything, from the Aboriginal cultures that were there, from the European migrations we received through centuries, and also the influence of African people that were brought to America, unfortunately, as part of the slave trade.
Yes, we also have a high influence of native tribes. When you visit countries like Mexico, Bolivia, Ecuador, Guatemala, you will see rich architecture and remains of these countries. For example, when you visit Machu Picchu in Peru, or you visit the pyramids in Mexico, or have you ever heard of the Dorado legend that it's been in so many Hollywood movies?
Absolutely.
Well, this is very important part of the pre-Columbian culture.
Yes, and today we have decided to share some of the native culture and some of the artifacts they made, because it's not only in the architecture from those groups that you mentioned, Angela, but it's also part of our daily lives. So today we want to pay tribute to the native cultures in Latin America.
Well, we are showing here some artifacts, and as you can see, these beautiful figures, they're called molas. Molas are originated in the Cuna culture, which are located or settled in Panama and the northern area of Colombia. So Cuna originally were hand-made paintings that women used to make in their bodies with geometrical or animal figures. Later on, they translated into prints in cotton or other different fabrics, and now they're all over and they're so beautiful and fashionable in purses, shoes, shirts. So this is something that is really beautiful and very colorful.
Yes, and the other thing we have here that we want to share with you is the use of gourds. We know gourds are used in many different cultures all over the world. However, did you know that in Peru, the art of gourd carving is 4,000 years old? And nowadays, in countries like Argentina, Uruguay, and Paraguay, they use their gourds as a container. So every day when they are enjoying a nice cup of mate tea, they will use one of these.
Well, let me tell you something about gourds. They are also an eco-friendly container. And in countries like Colombia, you prepare a very traditional dessert that is also very popular in other countries in Latin America. This is called dulce de leche, and today you're lucky. I'm going to show you a video of how to make this delicious, super quick, creamy dessert. Enjoy!
Hello my friends, hola amigos. Today we're gonna make something that is very popular in the majority of countries in Latin America. It is called dulce de leche, and it's very confused with caramel sauce, which is really different. Dulce de leche is made with real milk, while caramel syrup is just made with sugar and water. So back in the times of our grandmothers, this was made with real sugar and hours stirring on the pots. And of course the texture was creamy, rich and delicious. But nowadays, I'm going to teach you something very easy to make, and you can find it anywhere in the supermarket or even in your pantry. So for that, you just need a can of condensed milk and a pot of water. This time I'm going to use pressure cooker because of course this will make the process very quick. But you can also use a regular pot of water or a slow cooker. So if you're going to use a slow cooker, you can leave it overnight on high heat. If you're going to use a regular pot of water, you leave it in the stove for about 6 to 7 hours. But if you use a quick pot, you can only get it done in about 45 minutes. So the only thing that you have to do now is just put the can inside the water, just like this. That's it. And put it on the stove on medium to high heat for about 45 minutes to an hour. Just leave it there, and then in about 45 minutes to an hour this will be done. And please do not open the can immediately, because then you're gonna have a very painful burn. So you have to cool the can completely before you open the can. So see you shortly in about 3 hours. Thank you. Hola again, amigos. My dulce de leche is done. I put it in a pressure cooker for about an hour, and then I let the can cool completely. So now we're gonna open the can, and we're gonna see this delicious, creamy dulce de leche that you can just add it to your desserts, you can add it to your cakes, or you can just eat it alone. I hope you enjoyed this very quick and fast and delicious, creamy, and especially very easy recipe. So enjoy!
You know what? Now I'm craving a spoon of that dulce de leche, but guess what? It's all gone. That day, I took it out of the can and I put a big tablespoon of a brownie and ice cream. Oh my God, to die for.
Nice.
Have you tried it? You like it?
Oh, of course. And you know what? If you try it, there is a very simple snack that you can prepare. Just grab some crackers, spread it over, and there you go. A crunchy, sweet snack that you can enjoy anytime.
You must try it.
Okay, but now moving away from dulce de leche, let's talk about the beautiful landscapes and natural resources, because that's another important part of Latin America. Because we're such a vast continent, we have a bit of everything. If you look at the landscape, we have high mountain chains, we have plateaus, valleys, and coast. Some countries have coast over the Atlantic Ocean, some on the Pacific Ocean, and some even on both. The other thing that is really interesting is that because most countries in Latin America are located in tropical or subtropical climate, we are blessed to have the opportunity to grow vegetables and fruits all year long. Now, also because of the climate, if we talk about biodiversity, about 30% of the world's species of animals and plants are in Latin America. And among the top 5 countries in biodiversity in the world are in Latin America as well. Those are Brazil, Colombia, and Mexico.
Don't forget that we have the Amazon forest, which is called the lung of the world. And we're very proud of that biodiversity. Well, for this reason, agricultural and natural resources are a milestone from Latin American development. Did you know, for example, that Colombia and Ecuador are the second and third largest exporter of flowers?
Yes, and let me tell you something. Next time you go and buy your flowers for St. Valentine's, guess where those flowers are coming from?
Roses are probably from Colombia. Chile have one of the largest reserves of copper, or Venezuela is the #1 oil reserve in the world. But now that we gave you an idea of the natural resources, why don't we take a time and talk about something that is closer to home, a cup of coffee. If you want to learn more about coffee, check the next video.
Let's look at Latin America's tradition of coffee and wine processing and production. After arriving in the 17th century, coffee rapidly found appropriate lands to grow and flourish. These days, Latin American coffee is positioned as some of the best coffees in the world. Among the top 10 producers in the world, we have 5 Latin American countries. Brazil is number 1, responsible for 60% of the global production. Colombia is number 3, known for its high quality. Honduras comes in number 7. Mexico is ranked 9 and is responsible for the majority US coffee imports, and Guatemala closes the list in number 10. The coffee process starts with the harvest. Because of the characteristics of the terrain, the coffee is hand-picked, which involves the work of thousands and thousands of workers every year. After the harvest, the fruit is cleaned and processed using either the dry or wet method. In the process, the outer skin will fall, leaving only the seed, which is the desired end product. The milling removes any remaining layers of dry skin from the fruit, and then the coffee is graded. There are different criteria used, such as the size of the bean, where and what altitude it was grown, how it was prepared and picked, and how good it tastes. And this is how, from the tropical sunny mountains, collected by the loving hands of thousands of coffee pickers, we can enjoy a nice cup of coffee. And from the tropic, let's go now to look at the vineyards at the south of the continent. Grapes arrived to America with Spanish conquistadors in the 16th century and found the perfect environment at the foothills of the Andes Mountains. In the past century, Argentina and Chile have built strong wine industries, ranking now among the top 10 producers in the world. In 2019, they were in 5th and 7th place respectively. Grapes can be picked either by hand or using machines. The moment at which the grapes are picked actually determines the sweetness, flavor, and acidity of the wine that is going to be obtained. Once grapes are picked and stems have been removed, they are ready to be crushed. In the past, this used to be done by feet, but these days machinery is used. Not only it's better for sanitary reasons, but also producers mention that it increases the longevity and quality of the grapes. Crushing and pressing is followed by the fermentation process. During this process, the sugar is transformed into alcohol. This can take from 1 week to a month, depending on the desired result. Then, the product is filtered to remove unwanted residues and is ready for aging, which can happen in stainless steel or oak barrels. And then, once the aging process finishes, the wine is then bottled with screw cap or cork. We hope you have enjoyed this brief overview of 2 important industries in Latin America.
So, as you saw in the video, Latin America is a major producer of one of the best wines in the world. Next time that you visit the South American section in your LCBO, do not leave it without trying a bottle of Carboner from Chile or Malbec from Argentina. We should also talk about something that is probably the most sold spirit in the world, rum. Every time you visit the Caribbean islands of some of the countries in Latin America, you're going to find a delicious rum which is made out of sugar cane. And countries like Puerto Rico, the Caribbean islands, the Dominican Republic are major producers of this delicious spirit.
Yes, but I want to go back for a minute to the coffee. So as you saw, we produce a lot of coffee that is consumed in this market. Next time you're enjoying your morning coffee, think about it. It may come from Latin America. Funnily enough, there is one Latin American country that doesn't produce enough coffee to supply their internal demand. So they have to import more coffee than they are able to export. This country is Ecuador. Now, I also want to make you an invitation. If you want to try a very nice cup of coffee in Holcomb region, stay with us until the end of the programming, because you can participate in a game to win a gift card to visit Taste of Colombia, a very nice coffee shop located in Oakville. So pay attention and stay until the end.
Well, we cannot leave this video without about dancing, partying, and music.
Absolutely. Well, after all we have mentioned, you have an idea of how colorful and festive people Latin Americans are. We are actually recognized all around the world for being really friendly, welcoming, and as you mentioned, for our love for dancing. Based on the many diverse ethnicities and influences we have received from Europeans, Africans, and Aboriginals, we have a wide variety of rhythms to enjoy. We can dance cumbia, salsa,
Bachata,
merengue, tango, son cubano, absolutely.
Every country that you visit in Latin America has their own very rich music. So next time that you find a close destination, you want to escape from winter, think about Latin America. Flights are cheap, all-inclusive resorts are amazing, you will come back full of amigos, and you will have a heck of a time. So enjoy Latin America, and thank you so much for joining us today.
Gracias.